and welcome to Colin's Wonder. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this video, where I will go over my currently inked pens for June 2024. All right, let's jump in. Okay, let's open to a new page. All right, let me set the focus. Hopefully it will just stay focused and not move too much. First up, we have the Magna Carta Mag 600. We're just going to do some little swatch squares where I just put a heavily saturated area. Kind of do some lines like this, like that. So we have the Noodlers, Southwest, Sunset, Magna Carta, Mag 600, and this is a 14K flex. Which means you can flex. Right. Looks like it's lost focus. Stop changing the focus on me. All right. Next up, we have an ink by Herbin. This ink flows much more than I expected. It is J long, and it is Coca to this is in my Montblanc. Meisterstuck 146. This has a fine nib. Okay. I might show all the pens at the end, but I'm trying to keep the camera focusing on the paper. Obviously I can't look and write the camera and the paper. All right, so next up, we have a red ink. And this one's going to be hard for me to pronounce, but I think it translates into red bean or something like that. And the company, I think, is Photo, and I think it's called Adzukiiro. Sorry for my mispronunciation. Pilot Custom 23. This is a fine nib. Forgot to do my things up there. That's okay. Right. Next up, we have a purple ink. This is also an ink by Herbin. It has a fancy name, but I just call it Amethyste. Herbin. This. Okay. Right. This is in my Ferris wheel. Okay. Joule. Fine nib. I will show a close-up of the writing samples and pens at the end. Okay. Next up, we have an interesting ink by Colorverse. It's the Colorverse ink. And it is called Witch by Startlight. That's in my Jinhao X850. This has an extra fine nib. Hopefully the focus isn't switching around too much. I'm trying to see if this will alleviate that a little bit. All right, next up we have an ink I'm experimenting with. I've actually used this ink in several different pens, and I've been noticing that it tends to run really wet as I'm writing with it. But if I leave the pen, so it's a Diamine ink. Diamine, and it is called Midnight Hour. Actually, I really like how this ink looks. And it flows really well. And it is in Midnight Hour, and it is in my Asvine B126. This is in a fine nib. Yeah, I've noticed that this ink, you let it sit out for a little bit, the nib can dry out just a little bit. And just trying it out in several different pens to see if there's any pen that can hold up to this ink. All right, next up, we have an ink. The ink in this pen actually didn't change from my last one. I planned on having it change, but the ink and I was going to put the ink that's in the next pen in this pen. So this is actually another Diamine ink. But I couldn't fit this ink in the bottle to fill up, so I switched it to Polar Glow. So Diamine Polar Glow, and this is in my Twsbi. Okay. This is in a medium nib. Right. So next up, we have another Diamine ink. And I was trying to get this ink into that Twsbi, but it was just too big, and I didn't want to futz around with taking ink out of the bottle and putting it in a container to fill it up. And I just decided just to switch it out a little bit. So I am trying to reduce the number of pens I have inked. So this is, oh no, this is not a Diamine ink. I lied. So this is a Colorverse ink again. And this is red, blue, dragon. And this is my Lamy 2000 medium nib. So yeah, I'm trying to reduce the number of pens I have inked. This will help me in my future videos, since for Ink Wars, I'm going to be inking up 6 pens every week and cleaning them out. And just with how many pens this is, I figured reducing the number of pens I currently have inked is a good idea. We'll see how it goes. All right, so next up, we have a very blue ink. It's like a tealish blue, but it really pops. I'm really liking this ink. So let's see. It's the first pen I've really put it in. So it's by Robert Oster. And this is Fire and Ice. This is a Hongdian. $100 steel, silver. And this has fine nib. Okay. The last pen I have up, or last ink I should say, is a Pilot ink. Peacock. So this is a Pilot. Jaku. Jaku. And this is in my Esterbrook. Raven. It's got a fine nib. All right. So I'll do one close up now, and then I'll do a close up as it's drying. So you get an idea. These inks. And then we'll see if I can get it to focus on these pens. So I'll go in backwards order. So Esterbrook Raven and a fine nib. Hongdian 100 steel silver. Lamy 2000. Medium nib. The Hongdian's in a fine. Twsbi Kai in a medium nib. Asvine V126 with a fine nib. Jinhao X850 with an extra fine nib. Ferris wheel press Joule with a fine nib. Pilot Custom 823 with a fine nib. Montblanc Meisterstuck 146 with a fine nib. And a Magna Carta Mag 600 with a 14K fine flex nib. All right. Well, let's see. Those probably drying up again for another look. Well, that will be it for this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.